Welcome back. It is 1500. As you can see, I am filming this right after I opened up all of this CC that I'm going to download for the 1500s, the tutor period. But I did want to, well, I had time before the weekend started for me. I wanted to just do this recording. So anyway, in the last one, we just had Mortimer like feeling out whether or not he should be finding a new wife. We had the Dakras finally, see the light regarding the Pretender. The Pretender was executed. Everything is in a good starting position for this year where we're going to start with the 1500s and do our thing. So I hope you guys are excited. Let's start rolling some birthday rolls. So first we have some new rolls. So for the toddlers, Lillian and Leticia, we have 7. Why does this say 2006? Did I mess that up? Oh my gosh, it says 2006. It must be 6, right? Uh, uh, okay. I think that's supposed to be a 6. Anyway, 7, 14, or 19. No 7, 14, or 19. No 7, 14, or 19. Okay, both of them survive. Then we have Alexander Goth III. He is the only Goth boy. They're done having kids after the one that is in her belly is born. It's a girl, so no 2, 4, or 6. Oh my gosh. Should I double check that is supposed to be what that is supposed to be? Let me just go here really quick. I just have so many tabs open. Yes, I'm downloading all this CC, so we're going to have so much fun with our Sims. But let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's a 2, 4, or 6. I don't know why it thinks it's a date. That's so weird. Okay, Alexander, no 2, 4, or 6. Okay, the Goth family is still alive. Then Odelgard has to get higher than a 7, or 7 or higher, in order to keep surviving. And she did. Okay, everyone survived this year. Great news. Let's do it. All right, before we actually get started, I wanted to introduce some Sims. So Pink Sugar Pie was so kind as to add in a mother-daughter pair for potential remarriage to Mortimer. So I just wanted to introduce you to them really quickly. This is the Covington family. Countess Siobhan Covington is a widow after her husband passed from sickness due to only being able to have her daughter, Isla. Her husband's family is more than happy to take Isla as their heir, but Siobhan is not welcome for some reason. The Countess is now looking to find a husband that will take care of her and not just her daughter. As another lady in waiting to the Queen, she has heard Diana's passing, and a new widower is available. So. And we talked about this a bit in the comments about like maybe her husband, like maybe she supported the Pretender and her husband didn't. Maybe she got rid of him. We'll have to see how that storyline unfolds. But I did want to also show you, just because these are the first Sims that I have given a makeover in the Tudor style to. So I wanted to show off a little bit. And also, I mean, these Sims are gorgeous. So if you also want to download them, Pink Sugar Pie has uploaded them under my hashtag. But yes, here is Siobhan. She is just so beautiful. I mean, look at her. And I think, yeah, I gave them like 2 outfits. So the other outfit is this one. I mean, just look at these outfits. Look at these Sims. They look so good. And then we have Isla, who is dressed right here. She is so beautiful. Like, I think it would be fun. We'll be able to find her, a husband as well. So here she is. I can't remember if I gave her a different... No. Okay, this is her only outfit. Mom gets 2 outfits. But yeah, so she is a snob and romantic, and then Mom is a snob, ambitious, and family-oriented. And then what's this? Additional trait, perfectionist. Yes. So I think that she could definitely be, she's a countess, so there's that. And then also she could definitely be an interesting character, especially while raising our kids, because she is a perfectionist. She is a snob. She is someone who could potentially be hard on the children. So let's hop into the game for realsies and see how it goes. So pretty immediately, Constance and Alexander Goth have their last child. It is a girl, and she survives, and we are going to name her Vivian. So Vivian Goth is the last Goth child. The millionth Goth girl, and as we know, there's only one boy, which I still can't get over. But anyway, so we are going to just check. I don't know why her last name changed. Sometimes Neighborhood Stories does weird things to me, but it looks like she's still married to Alexander, and we know that that's Alexander's child because we got her pregnant with that. So, oh well. Anyway, so we are going to first have Mortimer go over to the royal family's castle to meet them. Obviously, he knows them very well by now, but also, like, he's pretty close to them. And, you know, Diana was a lady in waiting to the queen, so she was pretty close to the queen as well. And so it's just kind of, you know, some time that they want to spend together. And so, as we know, that Siobhan here is actually going to be another lady in waiting to the queen. So because of that, she's already, you know, in the castle. She knows the queen very well, just like Diana did. We have to assume, I guess, that she knows Diana pretty well. So because she knew Diana and, you know, she's single, and maybe she said to the queen, like, oh, you know, it's such a shame that Mortimer, you know, that Diana died, and I'm sure that he is having, like, such a hard time, and blah, blah, blah. And so she kind of, you know, gets in the queen's ear a little bit about introducing her to Mortimer. So they get introduced to each other at this dinner that is with the royal family and just a few people. And so they're introduced, and so actually they have amazing compatibility, and she has a pretty good he has a good first impression of her, but she actually doesn't have as good a first impression of him, which I think is kind of funny because, you know, we know that she potentially killed her husband. Anyway, so beyond that, the king and queen are going to talk with Mortimer about you know, we did say that maybe we would get him a new title because of what he's all been through with helping with the Pretender and everything. And so actually, let me just go quickly and find out who said that, who agreed. So, yeah, the king is offering Mortimer a new title. He's going to also become a viscount, so that'll be really exciting to him. I just have to, my phone died, and so I have to go out to, like, a browser to find out things right now. But yeah, so things are going pretty well, and I know that some of you were really excited for either Esther or the other woman whose name I forget, but oh my gosh, do not freeze to death, Gabriel. Get back in the house. Okay, so yeah. Oh yeah, like Shyla Visser commented that she liked Esther, and you know, I think I remember someone saying like that they were team the other woman, if I could find it. Oh my gosh, I gotta go back. I gotta start writing things down like right when I read them, but I just read them like right when you post them, and then I forget. But Historical Queen said that. It looks like, okay, Eastlake was her name. Okay, so also my Sims are just not doing what I want them to do right now, so we're gonna ignore that. But anyway, I was totally like with you guys. So the thing is, I am a few videos ahead. Like, I'm recording a few videos ahead, so I don't really see your comments until a couple of videos later. So I didn't even know about, you know, these Sims that were so graciously given to me by Pink Sugar Pie. So these Sims just really aren't doing anything, huh? Anyway, so I didn't know about that at the time, and at the time, Islay and Esther were our only options, and honestly, neither of them were great options. So I think that that's the thing, too, is that, like, Mortimer was looking for someone who would be able to perfectly step into this role as mother and head of the household, and, I mean, we know that Islay doesn't have a lot of connections. She didn't have a lot of, you know, status in the society. She also, you know, didn't have like a powerful family backing her up or anyone backing her up. So she's kind of tough. And then also we have to look at Esther, who's like a teenager. And honestly, like, I love Esther so much and I do want to marry her. But like, I don't know if Mortimer, who is old enough to be her father, would be the one that A, would marry her, and B, like, how is he supposed to expect her to be able to raise children that are not that much younger than her. And I think that is also kind of a thing. Like, I was really rooting for Esther just because I love her personally. But, like, if we really think about Mortimer and his life and what he needs out of a wife, I don't know if Esther would be able to do it because she's young, she's inexperienced. She can't just easily hop into this. So that is definitely something that I kind of struggled with thinking about when we were thinking about like what is a good option for him. And so that's why it's so nice that we have Siobhan and Isla here, because Siobhan is one, she's a mother. She's raised her child, basically. Isla is, a teenager. She's ready to start getting married. And so Siobhan has experience there. Siobhan also was she a countess, I think? And because of that, like, she has a lot of experience in managing a noble household and just all of that stuff. So I think that on top of having a recommendation from the queen because she's a lady in waiting, I think that all of that kind of puts her in the best position to be someone that Mortimer would want to bring into his household and marry. And like I said, they have amazing compatibility. He has a good first impression of her. She's looking for a new household. She is just, definitely someone whose resume backs her up. And so there's that. And yeah, so I do think that she would be a really good option for Mortimer. So I that's what we're going to go with. But yes, please don't be offended if I don't see your comments in time to make a decision with something or whatever. But, that's just how it goes. I'm trying to film a little further ahead. I don't want to be like only one video behind because I do have those weeks where work is busier than other weeks, and I don't want to miss getting a video out to you guys. So I am going to be a few videos ahead, hopefully. I think right now I'm like 3 videos ahead. So, yeah. I'll try to tell you guys stuff as early as I come up with it so that if you do have opinions, you can tell them to me long before I am trying to enact them. So anyway, that's what I'm going with. So yes, they are getting along really well, really quickly. They are boyfriend and girlfriend now, which actually was Mortimer's New Year's resolution, which I think is so funny because I totally forgot about that until it was like, you completed your resolution. And I was like, what? Didn't even remember that. Anyway, so now we are having a party, and the reason, honestly, I hate winter in this game so much. Everyone's cold, everyone's freezing to death. But yes, so the party is going to be for Mortimer for his promotion, not promotion, his getting to be a viscount, yes. So because of that, there's going to be like a party. The king is going to come and bestow the title on to him. And then that'll be really great. So everyone is here. Everyone is partying. Everyone is having a good time. And the king, I'm just going to have him come out with Mortimer so that they can together kind of, have this ceremony. I know that we can't exactly do it because Mortimer already has a noble title, so obviously, we can't redo the animation. So I can't fit the word viscount there. So anyway, so Mortimer is now a viscount. The king has presented him with this new title in front of everybody. He is now a viscount and a baron. So I just kind of used the commas in order to indicate that. So we will have him do the thing where he gives, one title to one child and one title to the other. But Mortimer is doing great in life. Like, if we think back, like Mortimer, when he was younger, he just wanted so much out of life. And he was like, this is just beyond what he anticipated for himself, and he's such a hard worker, and he has tried so hard in his life to get to this point, and he did it. Never mind like becoming a baron. That should have been like it. Like, hey, he fulfilled his dream, but he has that like thirst for life and for that gluttony that we talked about, and because of that, he like just doesn't stop. He just keeps trying and moving forward. And so there is that with him where he just keeps moving on up, and I love that for him. So I'm really excited about that for him. And we are going to just have them chatting. I did want to bring Siobhan and Isla here because Mortimer actually hasn't met Isla, and so I think that that's important for him to meet her and kind of get her blessing in order for any future relationship to go forward. And then also, so I did get a comment on the title thing, and I'm so sorry. I do not know how to read the letters that that your name comes in. Um, so I'm sorry about that, but I did get a nice comment on new titles of for Mortimer. So thank you for that. And Mortimer and Isla have a good first impression of each other. Everything is going well. He is going to chat with her a little bit, and then he does ask for her blessing to, propose to her mother, and she says yes, of course. I think that, you know what? I think that Isla, even though she is a snob, she is still a good person, and I think that she really cares about her mother, even though she knows her mother is kind of messy, and like she knows that she could have gone off with her relatives and lived with them and abandoned her mother and still been taken care of, but she decided to stay with her mother, and I think that she cares a lot about her mom, and so she's a good person, even though maybe her mom might not be. We'll get further into that as we continue down this lane. But yeah, so he proposes at the event in front of everyone. He proposes and, talks to Siobhan about getting married. And so now they are engaged. And I'm really excited about that. And I want to have a wedding pretty much right away because I want to, start bringing her into the family. Of course, I also don't think that Mortimer would want to wait. So, I am going to go and try and find a wedding venue because I just don't, I'd never put anything in this save file. I never put like any community lots. So we are going to bring in this nice build, which is a church cathedral wedding venue. Also has some graves in the basement and all of that. So I'm going to bring that into our game, and then we will just do that, and we will get married. So I'm just going to place this down, and then we are going to go back to our family. We will then just gather hold of everyone, and then we will start the wedding event. It's kind of bittersweet too for Mortimer because keep in mind that Mortimer and Diana didn't have a grand wedding that they deserved, but they got married during right when the sickness was ending, the sweating sickness, and then at the same time as them getting married around that time, Mortimer was having to go off to war. They were both aging up. So much was going on during that time that it wasn't something that they could have had. They couldn't have gotten married in some grand ceremony. And so I think that was something that Mortimer is thinking about as he plans this very extravagant wedding for his new bride, that he was never able to give this to Diana. And I think that kind of hurts his heart a little bit, that he wishes that him and Diana had been able to do this kind of stuff. And he knows that Diana didn't begrudge him for it, but just doing it again but without her is just so bittersweet. So I mean, we also have to keep in mind, Mortimer is not marrying Siobhan out of love. She was recommended to him by the queen. She has good standing. She's everything he needs. And they both understand that while they are going to be a married couple in every sense of the word, they are also not these young lovebirds that have totally fallen for each other and then want to get married. That's not what's happening here. Also, I can never remember which way is up the aisle and which way is down the aisle. Anyway, so they are going to get married. If they would both please go up there and get married. So I'm just going to send them up to the altar. Look at the whole, the king, the queen, and the crown prince are all sitting together in that pew, and I think that that's so fun. So I'm just gonna, Anyway, so they are getting married. Oh my gosh, they're so happy. I think that Mortimer is really glad, and I know that we've talked about this where Mortimer, would he be the type of guy to ask for help? And I really do think that he would use all the tools at his disposal. I think that he realizes that he's just one guy and he can't, raise 5 children the way that they need to be raised in order to, like, especially the girls. And so I think that because of all of that, you know, he realizes that he has to have a wife. And that's just the way it is. Like during this time period, like he's a workaholic. He works all the time. He doesn't have time to, teach his daughter how to play the piano. So, it's just all of that. So, anyway, we're gonna go upstairs. It looks like there's like a cool like food dancing area upstairs in this build. And so I'm going to have him bring everyone to come eat. And that's where the wedding is going to wrap up. So just everyone enjoying themselves and spending time together. And then we'll head home after this. But we did invite like William and Grace. We did not invite the rest of the Dakras. But look how pregnant Grace is. And then Pedro's there so happy. I think that Pedro... I don't know. I just think that Pedro has mellowed out a lot. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to die next year. So I just think that he has mellowed out a lot. I'm just taking a look at this build. It's so cool. But yeah, I think that Pedro, Pedro, of course, lost his wife and he struggled to raise his 2 daughters by himself. And so I think he does realize that Mortimer's doing what's best for his grandchildren. Also, like I said, Pedro won't be around much longer. And I think that like Cassandra especially she's been wanting to be friendly with her grandfather like this whole time. And so I think that it's going to be hard for the kids to lose their grandfather. So it'll be nice for them to have someone else. And also like, it might be fun for Cassandra to have a big sister, even though she's been the oldest for a little while now. And so I think that it might be nice for her to have, some female role models. Whether or not Siobhan ends up being a role model, I don't know, but we'll find out. So we are going to head up to create a sim in just a second. I obviously clicked the wrong button there. So we're just going to accept that. And then I'm only going to give Siobhan a makeover because, we're going to keep Isla with the last name Covington. And then, of course... I didn't even realize this beautiful dress that she's in does not come in yellow. It doesn't come in yellow. I'm so frustrated by that. But, yeah, so I'm going to try and find her a new dress. Yeah, so there are a lot of options. So I wanted to kind of gradually do the clothing thing. So you can see that a lot of these have like the big necks or the frilly necks and the high necklines. And I'm like, okay, well, we are just entering the Tudor era, so I want to keep it with the like not so much stuff around the neck at first, and then we'll gradually go into having those items. So I'm going to start with some of those nods to it, but we're not going to immediately move into that. So that's what I'm trying to say here, is that for the outfits, I know that there's some really cool ones with like these big collars, but we're going to wait on that a little bit, I think, just because I want to try and gradually change the style. Some of these, I don't know. I think that you have to use accessories with them because that just is very kind of scandalous. But yeah, it looks like the plain dress is like would have something underneath it. But anyway, so we are going to just take a look here, and I'm trying to find the outfit and I can't find it. Ay, I'm a mess, but it's okay. So yes, she is gorgeous. I am really excited about Siobhan. I think that she is going to be such an interesting addition to our family, and I really hope that we can add in some drama with her and her life and her daughter, because obviously we're going to immediately be trying to figure out a husband for Isla. So Isla has to now be moving towards marriage and all of that stuff. So we'll have her romance drama coming up. So that'll be exciting. And then, okay, I know that Siobhan is a young adult here, but there's no way that she's 20 years old with a 13-year-old daughter, because that would make her 7 when Isla was born. So obviously that's not the case. I'm going to make her 30. So she had Isla when she was 17, is what I'm going to say. And then, so Mortimer is like 33, I think. So she's actually not that much younger than Mortimer, but she's still young enough that maybe they could have a kid. I don't know. Probably not, because one, our household is full. So in 7 years, when Isla moves out, I think that we might be too old to have kids. So that's fine. Unless one of our children dies, which I hope they don't, but if they did, we could have another baby. Anyway, but yeah, and I'm trying to figure out like what we should do here. Okay, also, well, not yet, but anyway, Siobhan is trying to immediately get to work. Like, she knows she's been hired to be a mother, and so she is going to immediately start working with the children, trying to get them to do their schoolwork, trying to get the toddlers up to their skills and everything. Like, some of the kids have been falling behind, not Cassandra, but like Tobias, like, hasn't really gotten a lot of attention. So all of that, and so she's going to immediately start, working on the kids. And unfortunately, well, there's a fire, and then Mortimer goes to work right when the fire starts, and then Siobhan is on fire, and I'm like, okay, come on, Isla, come put your mother out, and then she can't because Siobhan's already dead. Oh my gosh, they just got married and she's already dead. Oh my goodness, it's just like, seriously, like, everybody get out of there. The house is on fire. The house is on fire. Nobody's doing anything. I'm like, Isla, do something. You're the only, like, teen to adult in the house. You have to do something. Oh my god. So Siobhan just died. Yeah. But of course Grimm doesn't do what I need him to do, because he never does, and the fire is still going, you guys. The fire is still going. It's burning our house down. So since Grimm is not doing the thing, we are going to do that thing where we roll the dice to see if pleading would have worked, and luckily it does. It does work. We could have, odds are if we pleaded, it would have been successful. And so I'm really happy about that, because I'm going to bring her back to life here really quick. We'll have to remarry her because she died technically, but I rolled the dice and she will survive, which is really good, because I wasn't going to let her die. I'm going to let Mortimer be gloomy though, because he's been through a lot. So yes, I am going to bring her back to life, because even if we didn't roll a good roll, I feel like I would have brought her back to life, because we literally just moved her into this household. We just brought her into this game. She wasn't supposed to die. It was like a freak accident. The game did not even notify me there was a fire until she was already dead. So, there's that. Oh, this video is long. I'm sorry, but new century, we have a lot to start with, a lot to set up, a lot of fun things for this new century to get going on. And, it's a little special treat that you get to hear me talk for like an extra 10 minutes. But yeah, so I'm just going to have them get married again really quickly, and then we will move forward here. So we're continuing to make money. We have so much money, but that's okay, because now we can give Isla a pretty excellent dowry as well. So let's just do this. He has to go to work, and I'm going to have her start training the toddlers and all of that stuff. I was thinking about giving her her career back, but I didn't really want to go through the same career that we already did. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe. Okay, so Siobhan nearly dies in a fire at home. And she, it's a lot for her. She, maybe she gets some burns and stuff. Like, she's not, she had some trouble. And of course, Mortimer is like horrified and scared and everything. And everyone's talking about Grace and how Grace left her husband for his brother. But anyway, so Siobhan had to recuperate and obviously couldn't do her lady-in-waiting duties. And then after that, we have, her and Mortimer basically deciding that she's going to stay home and raise the children instead of going back to her duties. So that is something for her. She does not have to go into work anymore. So that'll be good. And like I said, we want to start, thinking about Isla's future marriages, and also Cassandra. Cassandra is aging up soon. Let me double check exactly when Cassandra is aging up. She's aging up in 1502. So in 1502, then Cassandra will need to start thinking about her future and marriages and getting ready and all of that stuff. So that is a big deal, and that is not that far away. So I am excited about that. And we are going to move forward here with, Isla did not have a good day at school, which is so weird because she was feeling so confident after putting out the fire. But anyway, we are just having Siobhan being exactly what Mortimer needs right now. The kids are the kids are thriving. The kids are doing really well. They are learning very quickly. Like, I think that we might be able to have Percival. He ages up next year, but I think that he's in a really good spot. By the time this video ends, he just has his potty stuff to work on, and then he's all set. So I think he should be in good position, even if he doesn't get his potty skill up to the top level. He's still got everything else up, and so that is a lot that Siobhan was able to get done in a short amount of time. So I mean, obviously he's like, just by existing they get some of those skills up. But anyway, so Mortimer is just like, kind of comes in and he's like, wow, like she really took charge of this household. It's going really well. And so Mortimer is really happy with his decision. Things are going pretty well. You can see all the kids just doing their thing and enjoying, and just things are good now, even though obviously Mortimer's never going to get over Diana. But even so, he is feeling really satisfied that his children are going to be okay, that the state of things is going to be okay. And honestly, like, some of these kids, like Eleanor was so young when Diana died. Like, Siobhan is probably going to be the only mother she ever remembers. So that's a big deal. And, okay, save, yep. Okay, and then I'm just going to have Isla quickly go and be presented to the queen, because she needs to do that in order to, start getting stuff about her in Lady Whistledown and all of that. And so her mother's just supervising her on the piano. I can see that, yes, some of her skills she already has some skills. So we'll just quickly work through this aspiration a little bit. Why don't you come sit in here so you don't freeze to death, please and thank you. And then Grace had her son, and is William II, who will be the future Earl. So that's all very exciting for them. And yeah, so that's where we're at. And we're going to add in this kid. Things are going pretty well. Grace is just like thriving now, which is so funny, because I think that probably Robert is spending a lot of time like sulking in his room and stuff. Like he like feels like he can't even show his face around. And so like Grace is just getting to strut around with her new husband and everything. And Isla was just named the Diamond of the Season, the Incomparable. So Isla is definitely going to be a sought-after bride. I'm really excited for her on that. And her mother is definitely going to be one of those like stage moms that's like, we need to find you the best, the best, the best. And kind of also like, was happening with Grace, where they wanted the best for her. But I think her mother isn't really doing it for the same reasons that Mortimer was doing it. But yeah, so they are going to, okay, let me tell you who our eligible bachelors are. We have Leonard Peacock, Edom Knight, Ingemunder Gamel, Ives Peacock, and Tobias Allison. I think Tobias is a little old for her. But anyway, I am going to add in some other families as well. So I'm going to go through our hashtag and see what, like, cuz I have a sort of idea for a story in mind for her. And so I think that we might introduce a couple new families in order to make that happen. Anyway, we are going to the Dakra house really quickly. The baby was just born recently. Also, I forget if I mentioned this, but who mentioned it? I'm so sorry. I gotta really look. That Henry should have his title taken away, and so that William becomes the William becomes the Earl. I'm trying to look and talk at the same time. It's not working. But I'm sorry, I don't remember who said that. But yeah, that Henry should be giving up his title. And so I think that we will do that Henry will have had to give up his title to William. Like, he would have to step down, which is really embarrassing for him. But anyway, so he is now not the Earl. Now William is the Earl. And then also what we have is we have Alice coming here. So Alice, as you remember, was married to Bendix. Her and him got on really quickly, and they married really suddenly. And so I think that Alice was kind of, wearing her rose-colored glasses. She wasn't really seeing things for what they were. And so now, after having been married to Bendix for a while, she realizes that, like, he was just kind of putting on a front to marry her, and he doesn't actually like her that much, and he was kind of doing it more as revenge against Robert, and also maybe there was some magic involved keeping her happy, but it is no longer. And so she is just really realizing that she's actually not happy, and that Bendix kind of tricked her into marrying him, and so she's very unhappy with that. And she comes home to her family and she tells them all of that. And of course, Robert is like, I knew it. I knew Bendix was evil. Like, I knew he was up to something, and you can come home, Alice, and we'll lodge a complaint and blah, blah, blah. And Robert is like so into it. And William is like, no, we won't. William is like, I'm the Earl. No, we won't. The Peacock family is very well regarded, and the King and Queen like them a lot, and Bendix didn't do anything. And Alice married him fair and square. She made that choice. No one forced her. And so that's her problem. And you need to work it out with your husband. Even though divorce is allowed at this time, it's still kind of frowned upon, for the woman at least, which is, a double standard, but we know how that goes. And so basically, William is evil too, remember? So William hears all this sad stuff from Alice, and he's like, so sad, too bad, like, go home. And so Robert, meanwhile, is like, no, we have to do something, like, we have to get revenge, and we have to, all this stuff. And William's just like, nope, I'm the head of the household, and I said no. So Alice is kind of sent back to her home, and, the poor thing is just not happy with her circumstances, but she's kind of stuck in them. And so all of that is going on. And we are going to just add Ives here. I'm going to get makeovers for everyone, and that's where we're going to wrap up. So Alice and Bendix and Willie, all those stories, they are not done yet. Like I said, we're playing a long game. Over many years, things are going to be happening. And so right now, Alice is realizing she's unhappy in the marriage, and maybe it was a trick all along. And so anyway, that's where we're going to wrap up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I am having so much fun. I really, really am. And I love this Let's Play so much. And I just cannot get over how much I'm enjoying this. So I hope that you guys are too. And let me know if you have any more ideas, especially ideas regarding Isla's, I was trying to remember how to pronounce her name, Isla's future marriage prospects and stuff. I'm thinking that, her mom is going to push for her to marry someone who will have a title in the future. So that's what I'm initially thinking. I'm thinking that, maybe there might be a little bit of problems when Cassandra becomes a teenager, to see how things are going between, if Siobhan considers Cassandra a threat. I don't think Isla would, because I think she's actually a good person, but Siobhan might consider Cassandra a threat. Or maybe, the person that Siobhan wants. What I'm thinking is maybe the person that Siobhan wants Isla to marry maybe isn't really that into her, and Siobhan might have to do some shenanigans to try to make that happen. We'll kind of see. But let me know what your ideas for it are. She won't be actually getting married until she's a young adult, so we have many years to unfold this story over. So I hope that you guys are excited about that. And also Cassandra, I guess, because Cassandra is becoming a teenager soon. So if you have any ideas for her, also let me know. And I will catch you in the next one.